I'm Rich O'Toole, and I got my start in College Station, Texas. I went to Texas A&M University, and I played a lot of open mic nights before I actually got my first gig, and it kind of took off from there. Wrote some songs. I was in a fraternity, and I kind of started playing guitar just for, pass the time, fun, and I learned that I could actually write music. And it came along. I put a band together because when I was a kid, I used to kind of dance around with a tennis racket to Bruce Springsteen records a lot. And I figured that why not do it for real? Why not take it to a stage? And I just love playing music. Who are some of my influences? When I was a kid, I used to, my parents would listen to top 40 radio when we were in the car, and so I kind of grew up listening to Alan Jackson and Dwight Yoakam and George Strait. But when I got in high school, I went to go see a guy named Robert Earl Keen, and he really kind of changed it for me. I saw that country could be cool. It didn't necessarily have to be real, cut and dry. This is how it has to be. You can get on stage and have fun with the audience, correspond. This thing called Texas music was truthful. It was a way to, songwrite at the same time, communicate with your audience on a personal level. It wasn't like stage to bus to stage. It was like audience to stage to audience. And that's when I saw that, I kind of was like, I'd really like to do that. Then do the other side. And so seeing Robert Earl play, I think, was a big influence of mine. Now I'm really stuck on a guy called Ryan Adams out of New York. He's unbelievable, and sometimes his records make me real angry, and sometimes make me real happy, because he'll come out with one record that is just so awesome, and then the other one is like just as awesome but real deep, and you're like, I totally wasn't expecting that. And that's kind of what I like, because it's not like it's going to be, this kind of record. It's going to be different. It's artistic. I think Texas music kind of represents that. I think if Ryan Adams grew up in Houston, he would play Texas country, and I think he does. So but up there it's called like alternative country or Americana. So it's cool to see how Texas music is outside the state, but it's not called Texas country. So the first concert I ever went to was when I was a kid. My dad would take me to the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo every year to see George Strait. I'd run down to the rail and kind of stick my hand out. And I don't know if you've ever been to one, but George rides around on a horse in the entire arena and shakes everybody's hand when he gets done at the rodeo. And I thought that was just the coolest thing. And I really wanted to do that. My goal was to one day play the Houston, Livestock Show and Rodeo. And so I never really pursued music. And when I was in high school, I was like, yeah, I really want to, I want to be a musician. And I played guitar and stuff. And I got in college, I went to a Robert Earl Keen concert. Actually, my senior year of high school, I went to a Robert Earl Keen concert. I started going to a lot of them in college. And that's when I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm a songwriter. I can do what he's doing. And I can, try to take it to a greater level, like Robert Earl Keen has done. And so I'd say the first concert I ever went to was a George Strait concert, but the first concert that really had like a deep meaning for me would be a Robert Earl Keen concert. What artist do I think that has a big impact on the Texas music scene? I would say would be Randy Rogers. We've opened up for Randy a few times, and him and his band, I think he's the one that's going to open everyone's eyes. Him and the Eli Young band is going to open up everyone's eyes to really show what Texas country has a capability of doing. Like when we open up for Eli Young or Randy, they go out of Texas and they bring Texas with them and they sell it, like Randy Rogers has played in Maine and stood on stage and said, I played Texas country music. And I think that's a huge impact. I mean, to take what we're doing down here, even it's called Texas country, it doesn't mean it has to be there's no barbed wire fence around Texas, you can take it outside the state. It's just a name. it represents something that, you know, it was a feel from the state that we you know, live in. And those guys really are helping the scene out a lot. I think the biggest thing is we played Fall Fandango in Houston, and that was with Randy Rogers and Dierks Bentley and I think Jason Boland and Kevin Fowler. And I got to meet Dierks Bentley, and I gave him my record and I talked to him for a while, and he was very nice. And then I was just backstage hanging out like a fan, because we played it like when the gates open, you know, kind of out in the parking lot. But it was still Cynthia Woods Pavilion. That's a big thing for a Houston kid, because being from Houston, you saw Tom Petty, Bob Dylan play the same venue. Now you're a part of the venue somehow, some way, you know. We had a dressing room upstairs, so it was like, it was official. We got to play at the venue. And when Dierks went on stage, his like fourth song into his set, he turned to the audience and told them to support Rich O'Toole to like 30,000 Houstonians. And I was just kind of like, all right, I'll remember that forever. Unbelievable. So I would say that. I would say, you know, Dierks saying my name on stage, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's a good feeling that a guy like that, who has a lot of respect for Texas country music, says support a young kid like me. So very intense. I'd say the best part about playing live on stage would be the adrenaline. I love performing. Sometimes I've been known to, if I'm playing a quiet acoustic show and really like no one's listening, or you know, I don't really have the attention, I'll go into Johnny Cash, Folsom Prison Blues, and I've been known to like get on a table and just, you know, and just totally, you know, get everyone going and excited, because all eyes are on you. It's not about the attention factor. It's about making someone that left their house to come to this bar to see live entertainment go home excited. I mean, I hate it when you go to a concert and the guys that's up there like, wrote this song back in, you know, you want someone to feel the words that you wrote. And I think the coolest thing now that the record's been out and people are actually listening to it is when you go places and you see like 2 or 3 girls like singing along. In the back of your mind, you say, I remember I wrote that song in my room when I didn't even play live. And these lyrics I wrote on a piece of paper, and now someone else that I've never met has listened to this song and is singing it now. It's a feeling that just goes through your entire body. I'd say it's probably the coolest, you know, intensity that you can have that's like legal. So maybe we can cut that out. That wasn't very good. That's cool. That's a family thing, right? Yeah. If I could tell my fans one thing besides come see me at the Sounds of Spring, it would be just keep listening. I plan on continue to release good music, and it's all for y'all. I don't, you know, I write music, I write for myself, like it's stories that I have or feelings that I have, but I didn't like, you know, record a record for me to listen to it, you know, in my car by myself, you know. It's about, I want people to actually hear it and be like, yeah, I was feeling that too. I understand that, you know, I'm going through that right now also. So just, I would say keep listening.